Going to Facebook to turn it over.
You are live.
Woo!
Welcome to Never Normal. Look at this beacon of light behind me, you guys. I've become an angel with a golden mic. Everybody, Jackie Monahan. Jackie Monahan, everybody.
Oh.
So I've decided that with every person that I love, that I just give them a round of applause when they enter the room for no reason. Because how good would that make you feel if just every room you entered, somebody just randomly gave you a round of applause?
I have a couple comments on that. I live for that. I actually worked at a restaurant. I managed it, and everybody that walked in, I would clap. And the owners had a meeting with me and said that people were complaining. But because there's people that are self-conscious. They're like, Jackie, there's people that are. I'm like, I did it to make everybody feel welcome and excited. And yeah, but Jackie, some people are really insecure about that, and they don't like all the attention on them. But I would get the whole restaurant doing.
I think it's brilliant. I'm going to turn this light off behind me, everybody. Hold, Colin.
But then also.
Guys, I'm going to do the whole show from back here.
Santos and I can both floss.
Flossing. Is that worse? That's worse, guys.
Well, we can't.
Worse.
I like
worse or better?
You are good.
Golden mic better.
Yeah, where did the golden mic come from?
Okay, the closet. Same place I came from. Seriously, I found this in the closet and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? It's not working. There's nothing about this that's operational. It's purely a prop.
Really?
But I loved it, so I thought I would rock it.
I really love it. I love it. I don't think it's working, but that's just the computer.
Sounds like it's not plugged in at all. I think it could potentially be operational. It's just not, because I'm not that tech savvy. Welcome. Hey, I did figure out how to put this on my Facebook actual page.
Okay, let me. Oh, wow.
Instead of just my fan page. But I have it on my fan page.
Where is it right now?
All three. YouTube, fan page, and we have 2 viewers. Hi, 3 viewers. Hi, guys. Welcome to Never Normal.
All right, play with them while I look for it to share on mine. Okay.
Jackie's figuring out the technical side. So, guys, this is Jackie Monahan. I'm Renee Santos. We are comedians, and we're going to have a spirited discussion more about life in 2020 and how it's weird. So I thought that we would talk today about the upcoming election and voting, especially because tonight is the first presidential debate. And I'm pretty excited to participate in my society again, because how many people feel like what happened 4 years ago had a little bit to do with the fact that we weren't paying attention? I'm just saying. So I feel this responsibility now to check in, because my generation done fucked shit up. So we're going to talk about that and like access to voting and all that fun stuff. I just totally made that up. Like this introduction was like, oh, we have a theme. It wasn't really a theme. I just was excited about it.
No politics. I'm kidding. No, we got to talk about it. It's important. Yeah, everybody has to vote.
Seriously, guys, everybody has to vote. I kind of feel, this is my position about it as a woman. Like, I just feel like I look back to the women's suffrage movement and I think like what people went through in order for us to have the right, like this isn't a privilege, it's a right. And so like, I think it's important, like that we all vote, and it's not even about a political position. Like we need to go utilize that right. Also, either that or shut your pie hole and stop complaining.
Exactly. Like, I don't want to hear it, people vote. But like some people's excuses is it's not going to change anything. It's not, my state is already blue. It's like every vote is so important because I'm I love energy. I'm very sensitive to it. And I just know a little bit too much about it. It's kind of annoying. And everybody putting your beautiful, loving, heartfelt energy into voting. All the action it takes to get to that point to vote for humanity, no matter what, makes a huge difference energetically, not just politically, not just for the humanity, but it's so important. It can't be more important. And for your own self-esteem, it's important.
I agree with that. And I feel like there are some things that we separate from spirituality or coming from a loving place. And like sometimes I think that's why politics can be ugly. And I think every single thing, every conversation, every debate can come from a place of love,
yes.
you know, and like, yeah. So yeah, I think this is important to talk about.
I feel like it's really important for us to not allow fear and hatred in our hearts. It's so important for the sake of humanity, and fear is not getting lazy and not voting. And I heard that some people don't vote because they're afraid of they think that they won't get called for jury duty. We talked about this, right?
I don't think we did, but that's
they won't be called into jury duty, so they don't want to vote to get on the radar. But guess what? You don't really have to go to jury duty. But also,
I got out of jury duty by using the bathroom too long.
Everybody gets out of jury duty. But also, I've participated in jury duty, and it's actually pretty amazing.
I agree. I got out of jury duty and I didn't even mean to. It wasn't like I was like going in there and being slimy and not attending to my civic duty, because what happened is like we had a break and I had to go pee. And then during this pee break, they changed the courtrooms because of like the air circulation or something. So I get back from the pee break and I'm like sitting outside of courtroom 8 and like I missed like a half hour of the testimony and I had missed too much of it that they had to dismiss me because they didn't have time to like rehash it to me, and I was not informed. And I'm like, wait, did I just get dismissed from jury duty because I was in the bathroom too long? Like I was just sitting on the bench and everybody had gone into the courtroom. And it was, yeah, so that is really honestly how I got out of jury duty. But like when I was initially there for the first couple of days, like I was all fired up and I'm like, I'm doing my duty, you know, like I felt like I was being of service in the right way. And then I fucked it up by peeing too long. Are we allowed to swear on Never Normal?
I say yes.
I say yes. Guys, how do we feel about this quadrant of my face?
I was on a court case where there was a woman who had gotten kidnapped and was used as a sex slave.
Ooh, that's hard to be impartial with all that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was very interesting.
So, okay, tell me more. I feel like I need to know more about this.
The picking out the jurors is what takes the longest time. It takes longer than the actual court case itself. But I was trying to stay on it because I wanted to throw the books at this guy. But I kept passing and going back every day. But then finally, the prosecution got rid of me.
Wow.
I was bummed. I wanted to stay on it. Like just as artists, we don't want to give up the opportunity to experience life. Like it's important. Like being on jury duty is a beautiful way to experience life. But also once you do it, like you can get out of it. Like you could do anything. It's not.
You can also write comedy from it, right? Like isn't that really how we create our art? Is like we have to go out there and live our lives and observe.
Yes.
Like
yes.
You and I were talking about this on the beach last week. Like really, what comedians are is we're like. It's like we're photographers of life, except we put it to words. Like we're not. I had somebody say to me, like, "Oh, that's not original. That's not original commentary to be talking about the quarantine." And we're like, "No one's claiming that it's original. Everybody's talking about the quarantine." It's kind of like how many photographers have taken a picture of the Empire State Building? They just capture it differently than another artist would capture it. So our jokes and our storytelling is about our personal experience, like. Basically observing what other people are also observing. There's nothing I've said that no one's heard about before. In fact, I think that's why comedy resonates, is because we're talking about stuff that has occurred to other people and we're just saying it out loud. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. I do tend
to nothing's original.
I do tend to say some crazy things.
You do say some crazy shit, but it's wonderful. It's wonderful crazy.
But yeah, but it's the same. Like everybody, as long as it's funny, it's funny. That's all that matters.
Yeah, you're on your album. What is that joke about rape going to music? I don't know. I'm butchering it, but like it's amazing and wonderfully inappropriate and so correct.
I'm like, music makes everything better. Can you think of something music wouldn't make better? I can.
Rape.
But that's a joke about like how rape is so horrible. It's horrendous. You can't.
Right.
Yeah.
It's true. I'm drinking chai tea today.
Delicious. What a little angel. Yeah. So yes, everybody has to vote. But tonight this is like a giant bully session. Like we're gonna watch the ultimate bully try to bully the good guys, the underdog fighting with the good guy.
Yeah, and it's really like, I think what's bizarre for me is that like debates have not been the same since this man has been president, because he's like he's not even human. Like I don't even feel like this is Republican versus Democratic. This is like having a moral compass versus like not. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's not even, I know some really good Republicans that are like not voting for Trump. So I don't even like, okay, I don't like to get into these dialogues where it's like tit for tat and we have to prove like our rightness, because I think we all come from different experiences. But I do think that there's something, you know, inappropriate about keeping a man in office who's like not paying taxes. Like the fact that Trump paid $750 in taxes or whatever the number was, I at managing a Starbucks is paid $1,800 in taxes. I was below the poverty level a couple of years ago, and I paid $1,800 in fucking taxes, and Trump is paying less than me. Like that stuff to me is problematic. It's like not okay for our society to evolve if that person is the one running our country. Like it's so simple for me, you know, like it's just, it doesn't even make sense to me why anybody would advocate for that person to represent or govern our country. I don't even get it. I don't get it.
I've kind of like given up getting it, trying to get it. Like, I don't know how, like, since I was a child, really, sensationalism, I always didn't like it. I liked real stuff. And like when The Apprentice came out, like I never watched it. I always hated his energy because I'm so sensitive to energy. Like, and I can't even watch it for the comedy sake of it. Like, I just always hated him. Not hated him because I'm not somebody that likes to support hate, but I hate hate, and he has a lot of that.
Yeah.
He's full of hate. And I don't want, I can't understand. I'll never be able to grasp anybody liking him. It can never be for a right reason.
Right. I just think like, even from the basic level, not even talking about government, like when we don't feel good about ourselves and then we personally attack another human being, like that is like the peak of juvenile behavior. And I feel like if you're behaving that way as a grown-up, like that, I think that's the definition of being a sociopath.
Yeah.
You know, like there are times where people will attack me, and I've been alive long enough and I've done enough work to know, like, okay, you know, they're having a bad day. I'm sure they're really good to their kid. Like, I don't know. I mean, I have moments where I'm like, fuck you. But then I have that like namaste, like reconnect. Like he's probably a good person. He just cut me off because he had a bad day, like moment. And I feel like most human beings have that general self-reflection where they don't go off on this spin of like going out of their way to cause harm to others. Like he actually gets off on creating harm in other people's lives. Like that's a bully. Like that shouldn't bring you joy. Like we all accidentally fail people. We all do, right? Like my life, there's never a part of me that feels good about like actively causing someone harm.
No.
So, and I just, and I also feel like this election is more important than ever. And I've even heard a little bit on the Democratic side about like Biden and, you know, not liking his politics. And I'm like, dude, I'm telling you right now, this is not about Biden. This, honestly, it's about RBG's replacement is what it's about.
Yeah. And anybody who talks bad about Biden, I'm just like, it's like talking bad about getting older. I mean, the alternative is death. The alternative is death. Like there's no, why focus on Biden's character defects? There's no, Look,
age, like this may be controversial because we're doing this on Facebook Live. Like I like Biden, but the other thing is like people are like he's old, he's the oldest president and he's gonna die. And I feel like, yeah, but do you see who the VP is? If Biden dies, we have the first black female president. Like I'm not worried.
No, like who cares? Like who cares? Who cares?
Right? Our backup's a good one.
Like, can you imagine? I just can't fathom being like, no, he's old. Let's vote for this insane asylum, a walking, breathing insane asylum.
And Trump is like 4 years younger than Biden. So really like a shit show of a human being that behaves like an 11-year-old sociopath or like a 70-year-old man. Like, look, I'm telling you, I didn't want another straight white man being president, but like we have to put our stuff aside. That's why sometimes our personal stuff has to go aside. But you know, let's be honest.
Yeah. I'm really surprised Trump lived through these 4 years. He gets so angry. I really thought he was going to spontaneously combust at some point.
I thought
the rage that goes through him over nothing. And the amount of things he should have rage over and has none.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
But I honestly, the thing that disgusts me the most, it's one thing if there's like one bad seed, but the amount of people that support the bad seed, that's what scares me about it.
Exactly. Like it's like you can't surprise me anymore. It's actually both. Like sometimes I'm like, you can't surprise me. Like, okay, I know Trump is not aligned with my principles and never will be. No, you can't surprise me with that. I'm not gonna be like, oh my God. But then he does do something and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
How does it keep getting worse and worse and worse?
Yeah, and like there doesn't seem to be a consequence. Like that's what the only thing that Trump, I feel like, ever said that was true was that I could stand in the middle of Fifth Ave and shoot somebody and they'd still vote for me. Or maybe that wasn't even him that said it, but that comment about him was probably the most true. Like that's what's scary is that it honestly does not matter. Like the people who are voting for Trump are just anti-love and anti-democrat. They're not voting for Trump. They're voting against
humans.
Yeah. Like it's not, no, I don't think anybody's pro-Trump. I honestly don't. I think they're just pro-hate.
Yeah. They're just pro-hate. I just can't comprehend it. I cannot comprehend what goes through these people's minds that are pro-Trump. It just doesn't even make sense to me. I can't, like, I've spent so much time trying to grasp it, but I can't.
And I've had some like spirited discussions over the years. I mean, I've gotten slightly exhausted. I feel like sometimes like spiritually, I only have, especially with all of this quarantine stuff, like I kind of consider my spiritual energy like a gas tank. Like I only have so much to give. Yeah. So I've stopped having a lot of these conversations simply because I know it's not my place to walk somebody else off their ledge. And sometimes I can tell when I'm in a place like where I can't bounce other people's energy off me, I just know it's best for me not to engage in the conversation in the first place. Yeah. So it's been a while since I've had these kind of dialogues, but like initially I would have conversations about this all the time. And I just like with people who I love, I've had people in my like that have been friends since I was a child that voted for Trump. And like, it really scared me, like how that could even be possible. But I was willing to have that conversation. I realized there was a lot of naivete, I think, initially, but I think if you're voting for Trump now, I don't know what kind of person you are. Like now, 4 years later, now?
Yeah.
Really?
Especially after these taxes. What was I trying to say? So Republicans, a lot of times they're just like, you guys take this personally. It's not personal. And it's just like, how do you not see that it's personal? It's so interesting. Like, I wish I could, like, I believe in not taking things personal. It's very important not to take things personal. It's one of the 4 agreements, like, don't take things too personal. But as a human being, You're voting against humanity.
Totally. And the thing that Trump doesn't get is that, like, this whole I'm the president, I'm the greatest leader of the free world, like, being the president of the United States of America actually is the highest form of being a trusted servant.
Yes.
You know, it's not like you are a trusted servant to the American people. And to me, I mean, that's an honorable title. I don't say that as an insult. So the fact that he has convoluted what that role is sick and disgusting. Like, that is the ultimate public service position, is being the president of the United States. So, like, the fact that other people's opinions don't matter to him, is including people who are on his side, that are in, you know, in his like wheelhouse, he still, they say anything anti-Trump, he'll spew some stupid tweet about them. And I'm like, I can't even believe in the fact that our children are being exposed to the fact that this is how people communicate, that, you know, like, that also breaks my heart. Like, even when Bush was president, or a lot of other Republican presidents, I was never ashamed to have an American flag. And for the first time in my life, when I see an American flag, I am filled with shame, or I assume the person waving the American flag is filled with hate.
Yeah, you and I both, when we were in the car social distancing, we saw a giant truck with a flag, and we were both like, it's a shame. We can't look at that and be like, yay, our country. Not that I ever really would, because I really am always, even as a child, didn't understand that. I like all humans. I don't want to be like, this is better than that. I don't, you know, but I like to protect my country. I love my country, but I love my planet too. Anyway,
for sure.
But we both saw that flag and we're just like, oh, like, we knew the energy coming off that was not good.
So it's like,
that it was pro-America. You know, we could be pro-America and we're pro-America. Other people,
I mean, I'm super proud to be an American. Both of my parents are immigrants. And like, what I really respect about my parents' story is that they both became naturalized citizens. They went through the process. Like, I just really respect that, you know, like, and then my dad served in the US Navy, and not that every immigrant has to do that, but to me, that was a really appealing story. And it was like, that is the American dream. Like, he was so honored for his family to be able to like become Americans, that like he was of service to this country. And like, there's all these beautiful immigrant stories. So I feel like when I kind of learned, and I didn't really learn my parents' like immigrant story. I still don't really know my parents' immigrant story. Just the fact that they are immigrants, like, I've always had this pride about being first generation American. You know what I mean? And like, I love being an American, and I love what my family did to like get here. So I've never like forgotten that I was American, or seen like the privilege in being an American. And like, I've never overlooked that, but I almost didn't realize there was anything else either. Does that make sense?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like, I just figured like the world's just like this. And like, it hasn't been until recently where I realized, like, we think we're the most powerful country in the world, and there just are so many things that are broken. And like, in a weird way, to circle back to like gratitude and what's good about what's happening in society, is like, in a weird way, it's good that Trump was elected, because a lot of us that kind of felt like we were in a nest egg, here we are. We started paying attention. And unfortunately, it's not that hate hasn't always existed, but he illuminated it. And it gave all of us an opportunity to be like, whoa, how did we participate in it? Because sometimes by not paying attention, that's participating in it. Absolutely. And I feel like a lot of Democrats, like, that's kind of where we went wrong, is like, at that moment where I'm like, we have our Black president, problem solved, like, things are good. You know what I mean? Like, and I didn't realize that all of this was brewing. And so by him bringing all of this to the surface, and us actually witnessing this racism, and like then starting to reflect on the systemic racism in our country, and just all of this stuff, like, unfortunately, I think it needed to come to the light in a way. And we have an opportunity to get to the other side of it now, but I'm not angry that he was elected anymore like I was for the first couple of years. I'm like, okay, I see the purpose of this in human evolution.
Right, exactly. It got rid of the status quo and complacency. Like, no, we're not allowed to be complacent anymore, and we're not allowed to just be like, oh, this is the status quo. This is how it is. No, we all have we have to do the moral right thing. We have to,
and it's a responsibility as human beings. Like we all get stuck in this like triangle of self-obsession, right? You know, and like I realized through all of this, like as human beings growing up in a society where we are governed and protected, and you know, I think we have an obligation to participate in our society at some level. I'm not saying all of us have to be politicians or grassroots organizers, but when it comes to like deciding who governs our country, like I do believe it's our responsibility to participate in that. Like that's part of being a grown-up. That's why they let grown-ups vote and they don't let children vote. Is like that's part of being a grown-up, is you think outside of the 18 inches around your own fucking head and you start thinking about the well-being of like a society, you know? So
yeah, it's so important. Everybody vote.
Everybody vote.
With your lives.
I'm technologically here struggling to be able to view the comments. Are you able to see them? Because I see that people are commenting, but I can't see any of them.
Okay. I'm going to, can you still see me right now?
I can see you right now.
Okay. Because I'm on your
show.
I'm on your Facebook. I
don't know an example. Do you see?
I don't know how to get, I can't see you right now.
You can't see me?
No, I'm on Facebook trying to find, all right, now I see it's on Facebook. So I'm attaching it to my page. I couldn't attach it before. I'm sorry for not being able to figure it out. All right, now it's on my timeline. So how are you?
You're so cute.
I know. I want to put it on my...
I'm trying to look at it on my mobile device. Like try to look at Facebook.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I'm
couldn't post. It's saying it can't load it. I don't know what I did.
All right. I'm trying to put it on my fan page. But okay. It's so confusing. I got it on my page, my other page, but I can't get it on my fan page. Someday we'll figure it out.
We're gonna figure it out. And by the way, people who are joining us, like this is episode 7, and it's really been a brainstorming session. You guys are witnessing the living, breathing organism of creating a creative project. And we're it's the idea of this show is gestating live in front of all of you guys. Like we're kind of giving birth to this idea, and it's evolving each week. So we don't really know what's happening, but never normal things. What?
But we love it, and we love each other. So
we love it, and we love each other. And you know what's great about Jackie Monahan, for those of you tuning in for the first time? So as a little Jackie, I'm gonna blow smoke up your ass. So one of the things when I first moved to Los Angeles and I started pursuing acting and stand-up comedy, like I was always sort of trained that people were really competitive and we had to like outwin somebody else. And like Jackie Monahan is one of these comedians that's like, you shine your light, I shine my light, and like we don't need to dim it for the other person, and like there's enough space for all of it. Like you just brought that energy to the room. Like I never felt like you were competing with like me. Like you gave me permission to be like, you do your style and I'll do my style. And like you're one of the first people that made me feel like comedy can be like a community instead of like this competition, you know? Yeah. And early in my career, I won't mention their names, but I went on a few like competition comedy shows, and like I was really upset just about the energy. And I was like, wow, maybe I don't want stand-up comedy, because it felt like bad blood. Like we're trying to insult each other. And like it didn't work for me, you know? Yeah. Like I didn't want to be that kind of comedian. It just didn't resonate for me. And like, so anyway, that was one of the reasons I wanted to collaborate with you, because I feel like we've worked together a bunch of times professionally, sort of accidentally. And like each time we've been really supportive of the other person.
Yeah. I remember meeting you the first time.
Yeah. It was like Comedy Jam, right? Was that the first time?
Yeah. It was Showtime's Comedy Jam. Yeah. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, same thing. Like I've always kind of loved celebrating other people's successes because it feels like it's mine too. Because I just do feel like we're all one person, but we have the illusion of being separate. So I love celebrating your successes. Like Renee has something that she can't share yet. And like I feel like it happened to me. I was just like, yay, like so happy.
Yeah.
And you're the same way. And we both have a good moral fiber. And it's really important to me. And we're both funny. Oh,
And we're both funny, and we're both lesbians, and we're both sober.
And we're both good actors.
We're both fantastic actors. I feel like we should do something acting together. There's a lot to come on Never Normal because we're also going to start integrating other media where you're going to get to see us act too. We don't know what that is yet, but do you like how I just said that with conviction in my voice with my golden mic?
Yes.
So you guys believe me?
I believe
we are. We have a lot of gestating. Keep your microphone in the shot. I love it. Your microphone doesn't look like a microphone far away. Oh, now it does. I know. This has been really fun. We're right at 30 minutes. To wrap it up, I dare somebody online right now to comment on anything you want to say. Close us out. I'm letting the audience close us out. Ready? Yeah. Somebody say something magical or not.
That's the thing. I love it being interactive. That's the best part about being live, being interactive. It's interactive discussions. Oh, you can see on your...
Can you see it on Facebook? Go to your Facebook page because I don't know if anybody's saying anything.
Oh my God. Everybody, this is... Vote. when all else fails, just yell out vote.
Wait. Sana, oh my God, Sana, is this really... Hello, Renee. Hi. Oh.
Hi. What's happening?
I love Andrea Oliver. Andrea Oliver is this beautiful goddess who I used to live next door to in Jersey City.
Did we just hear someone say hello? I feel like somebody came on. I'm so confused.
I'm so confused too because I feel like I'm double streaming. Well, at any rate, guys, we're going to figure this out so that we can actually comment live. Like I'm able to later on give feedback, but then that you're like defeats the purpose of us being live and interacting. So we're going to figure it out. So come back next week, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Yes, and in the meantime, message both of us with questions or stuff you want us to cover.
Yeah, so that we can have a conversation.
Yeah.
We give you guys permission to create the next topic.
Yes.
Sorry,
questions about anything. If we don't know the answer, we'll try to find it ourselves, but ask us questions about anything.
Totally. And if we don't have the answer, we'll just lie to you with conviction in our voices.
Yes. And we'll say something funny about it. We'll make up something funny. Ask us if you want us to do a sketch or something. We'll do a sketch.
We'll do a sketch. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do a sketch. I feel like you guys are daring us to do a sketch.
She plays ukulele. I play guitar. We'll improvise a song, whatever you guys want. Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
We also both hang upside down on weird apparatuses. You should check out our Facebook feeds from last week.
No idea. It's true.
Next episode will be upside down from a trapezist. No, wrong.
I figured out why my head hurt so much.
What?
You had your arms like this, so the blood was rushing to your arms too, not just your head. Where I
you know what else I was doing that I don't think you were doing that really helped me? I was, what's it called? Breathing. I was breathing.
Okay, I was screaming. I was screaming.
You were not putting any oxygen into your body.
I was screaming for Fred to oil pull. So that was the problem. But also my arms, everything went to my head. It hurt so much. It really did. I felt like
I'm laughing. I didn't.
No, it's fine. I did it to myself.
It was excellent. It was excellent. Tune in next week, guys. This has been so much fun. Until next Tuesday, have a great week, everybody. Watch the Face Night. Dun, dun, dun. We love you. Virtual hug. Yay.